Alright guys, we got a special edition of Eli and Isaac's videos with their dad. As you can see, Isaac and I have got his bike inside. When it's cold out, we bring our bikes inside so we can do some work. This is a little bit of a tutorial on the IMS oversized tank for the KX85. This is a 2025 model. You can see us removing the tank. We got our tank through Skagit Valley Polaris Kawasaki. They are amazing supporters of our race efforts. They ordered it through Western Power Sports. Western Power Sports notes it as a 2.4 gallon tank, which is odd because IMS actually notes it as a 2-gallon tank. So whichever it is, it doesn't matter. It's going to be plenty of fuel for Isaac's 1 hour long races. Eli's going to be doing the same races as well. We're going to try to see how the stock tank does. With a little bit of practice coming up here in a couple of weeks, we're going to go out to the sand and compare the two. So we'll see if we have to get another oversized tank or not for Eli. But yeah, it's kind of odd that Western Power Sports notes it as a 2.4 gallon. And on IMS's website, they note it as a 2-gallon, but the stock tank is 1.3 gallons. So either way, this is going to be plenty of fuel. You see Isaac holding it there. You do have to take the stock petcock, the fuel valve, off of the stock tank and put it onto the IMS tank, along with the rubber strap mount and the little seat grommet that the bottom of the seat latches onto as well. The instructions state pretty simple instructions. There is a little bit of a difference between the stock tank and the IMS tank mounting system. The stock tank has a single screw up front by the steering stem that goes into the frame. This IMS tank gets rid of that because that is where a lot of the fuel is being stored. And the IMS tank comes with 2 little aluminum L brackets that you'll see a picture of here soon. We'll put it up on the screen. And these L brackets that you're seeing actually hold the tank down onto the bike. Pretty cool design. Seems like it's going to work great. We are going to do some good testing on that. We used orange Loctite on all of the screws, bolts for this. And you can kind of see me in the video really paying a lot of attention to the wiring that is in the front of the bike there that will kind of be tucked in around the larger tank. IMS does a great job, and Kawasaki is the only 85 that has a wishbone style frame where it separates at the top of the steering stem and separates into 2 like a wishbone, instead of just a singular backbone style frame like the Austrian bikes, like the YZ85. This is a wishbone style frame, so they can put a lot of fuel down in between the 2 wishbones of the frame. But that also is where some of the wiring is. So you just have to make sure the wiring is pushed up out of the way. You can see me there putting on the L brackets. The throttle cable simply just stays in the same spot. The instructions state to make sure that it is between the tank and the frame. Isaac's just showing off some of his support sponsors there on his side shroud. We're just buttoning up back on. I was very meticulous in making sure that the wiring, the throttle cable was routed how we wanted it. And putting the side shrouds back on. The look of it is great. The fit of it is great. It raises a little tiny bit more in the front of the cockpit. Very minimal amount. I noticed right away by the seat, the Guts Racing seat cover had a tiny little bit of a wrinkle in it once we put it back on, just showing that the front of the seat was wrinkled up a little bit more. And we'll put another picture here up on the screen of the bike, kind of a cockpit view, a rider view, looking down. The bike might have gotten a tiny bit wider as well, but the side shrouds, everything fits great, just as stock. This is, out of all of the 85s, this tank is the most sleek, streamlined, oversized tank, compared to the YZ, to the Austrian bikes. If you look at their tanks online, they're pretty massive, and they have to get creative into where they can put the fuel. This Kawasaki with the wishbone style frame, they can put a lot of fuel right at center mass, right in between the frame rails. Yeah, so thank you for watching. It was a quick video. We have no complaints so far. Like I said, a couple notes. You do use the stock petcock. They give you a new gasket. Do not use the OEM gasket. It says that in the instructions. We have had no issues with any leaking. You use the stock fuel line from the fuel hose from the tank petcock to the carburetor. That's the stock line. They give you a new cap, IMS gas cap. And yeah, we're going to probably do a little edit when we go get some practice in. We'll talk about more about how long we're getting out of this fuel tank. So hour and a half maybe is what I'm expecting. Fuel capacity out in the sand is what we're mainly concerned about, is our sand races. So we'll get back to you guys on that, on how long the fuel is going to last in this, for Isaac, this is his first year on an 85, so he's not wide open all the time, but a very good rider. The sand is where he's going to be using a lot more fuel. So appreciate you guys watching. If you have any questions or comments, please comment. Eli and Isaac will get back to you as quick as they can. And if you guys want to see more stuff like this, let us know. We've got 2 of these bikes. We're doing a lot of racing. We've got a lot of support from our different sponsors this year, so we're trying to make sure we get these bikes ready for off-road racing for these guys and put some cool parts on them. So let us know what you guys like to see. Thank you for watching.